We're going to graph this absolute value function. So this part right here is an absolute value. So this right here is an absolute value function. Absolute value. So that's a function. So let me just remind you the pattern function value of x. So if you have a function like this, right, the graph of this function. So let me just quickly show you on the side right here. You know, if you don't remember, let's say, any of the pattern function, you can easily make such a table that I'm making on the side to have a rough idea. So let's say I started with plug in -2 for x, then I'll have a absolute value of -2, which is 2. And if I do -1, absolute value of -1 is 1. If I do 0, then absolute value of 0 is 0. If I do 1, absolute value of 1 is 1. If I do 2, absolute value of 2 is 2. Right? So you see I'm always getting positive numbers for y, and for x I can use, you know, any number I want. Okay, so when you do this, so now I'm going to subtract 1, right, as it's done here, right? When you subtract 1, so how the new graph is affected. But this one is just like this. If you plot this point, so let me just kind of do a sketch, rough sketch here. -2, -1, -2, 1, and 2. So 1 and 2. So -2 is going to be corresponding to 2. -1 is corresponding to 1. 0 is 0. 1 is 1. 2 is 2. So you see, you're getting like this V shape, right? You're getting this V shape, right? So all absolute value function will have this V shape, but if you have a translation, then this main point, we call this vertex point. So this vertex point will be moved, right, based on the transformation. So now let's translate this table. So I'm going to have x. So I'm keeping my x the same, but then what's happening when I plug these numbers for x, then 1 is going to be subtracted from y. So I'm fixing this. This is the same. Subtracting 1 from the y values. So if I subtract 1 from each of this number, then this will be 1, this will be 0, and this will be -1, and this will be 0, and this will be 1. You see, each number here it went down by 1, right? So then you see each point right here that I draw it on this graph is going to go down by 1. So it's just, you're just going to take each point and move it down 1. So if you started from here, so you move down this point by 1, and you move down this point by 1, which will be here, and then you move this point down by 1, so it's here, and you move this point down, is here. So when I move this 1, it's becoming on the x-axis, and I move this point by 1, and then I'm just going to go ahead and connect these dots. And still, you see, I still have the V shape, right? Nothing changes. The shape doesn't change. Only the points are moved around. So basically, when you subtract 1, the meaning of this is you're translating the graph 1 in downward. Okay, so down. So we'll call this down by 1. Okay, but you apply this to every point, right? You're basically subtracting 1 from y values of each point on the graph. So, and this will be graph of your equation. Okay, so that's it. So thank you for using my LearnMate, and please keep asking your question. If your question fails for some reason, then we will always get back to you and provide the help you need by sending you the video solution of the problem you ask. And thank you so much.